What's going on, guys? We are going to continue ultralight fishing like we did in our last video, and we're going to try out a different little micro-finesse soft plastic from Eurotackle. So this is the B-Vibe. It's basically a 2-inch little swim shad. So very, very small and slim profile. I mean, this is more of a lure that you would use for larger fish, and it just sized down to something really small. Very soft, nice paddle tail, which should grab a lot of water, cause this thing to kind of move around really well in the water, a lot of vibration. So I'm excited to fish this thing. It's a little bit bigger than most of the lures I would use for panfish. Like the Anasiptera from the last video was only 1.5 inches. This thing is 2 inches, so slightly longer, but it should still produce. So we're gonna fish this thing on my Legend Elite from St. Croix, my panfish, my ultralight rod, and we'll see what we can get on this. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so here's a little bit better look at the lure. Now, a problem we might have is this is a 1/32 ounce jig head. It has a pretty small hook, right? Because a small jig head typically has small hooks. However, the tail section here is very long. So to get a hook that's a little bit bigger, that goes further down the tail, we're going to have to up the weight size a lot. It's tough to find a small weight with a big hook. So I'm thinking there might be a lot of fish that kind of just bite the tip of this, the end of the tail, and then don't actually get the hook in their mouth. I hope that's not the problem, but I think we might get a lot of bites today that we're not able to hook up with. But let's try it out. So cast it out. It should be a nice steady retrieve. That tail should catch a lot of water and create a lot of action. Oh, fish on. Oh, man. Oh, that was a nice fish. Oh, he broke me off. When you're fishing this ultralight tackle, if you hook up with a big one, you're kind of screwed. My drag was set loose and he still broke me off. There's some really sharp rocks here on the drop-off, and I think he cut me instead of breaking me off because he pulled straight down. That was going to be, I think, a nice peacock. So let's tie another one of these on. All right, we're retied. New jig head. New B-Vibe. Anytime you lose a fish, it's disappointing, but especially when it's a nice one. I don't think there's anything I could have done about that, though. He just pulled me down into some rocks right on the drop-off and cut my line. Try to get another one. Fish on. Let's go. Little guy. Nowhere near the size of the fish I lost, but first fish of the day. Alrighty, our first fish of the day. Nowhere near the size of that one that we lost a few minutes ago, but one on the bank is always good, so let's get this guy back. Alright, so over here, this little bird looks like he is stuck on some old fishing line. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it because he's a little ways out there, but we're going to try to get him unstuck here. So I think I'm just going to ruin these shoes and hop on in there. I got my knife to try to cut him out. Ooh. Hope it doesn't get too deep out there. Actually, I don't know if he's stuck on some fishing line or not. He might just be wrapped up in the grasses here. Let's see what I can do here. It's a cool looking bird. Don't bite me, dude. I'm trying to save you. Don't bite me. I'm trying to save you. How is he stuck? He's just stuck on grass. There's no fishing line over here. Is he free? You're free to go, dude. I don't think he knows it yet, though. Get on out of here. Dude, go, you're free. Does he know that he's free? All right, there he goes. Good deed for the day accomplished. Fish on. Little guy, come on up here. So we are really putting the micro into the micro-finesse here. This is about as small of a largemouth as we can possibly get. But 2 fish on the bank, drop that guy back, and let's keep going. All right, so if you notice, after that little largemouth, I lost the paddle tail. So I think he just kind of, I don't know what he did, but I'm missing a paddle tail. So I'm sure this will still catch fish, but I think I'm gonna replace it and put a new one on with a fresh paddle tail. Alrighty, new paddle tail on there. I like the colors. The orange jig head looks really nice with this kind of green top with an orange bottom. I think they call it fire tiger pattern or something similar. But love the action on this thing. It's producing bites. Now let's get a couple more fish here. Steady retrieve has seemed to be doing the trick. Oh, fish on. Didn't even see that guy, little largy. Now usually when these guys hit that close to shore, I can see them hit before they do, but this guy came out of nowhere to ambush it. Another little micro largemouth. Oh, fish on. Oh, it's a nice peacock. No, not on the rocks. That's how I lost one earlier. Nice fish. Let's get this guy on up here. All right, first peacock of the day. Nice one. Didn't put up a huge fight, but still a challenge on the ultralight. I think he's a little bit smaller than the one I lost earlier. But let's get this guy back. The B-Vibe is paying off today. Oh, fish on. That hit like a train. What is this? It's got to be another peacock, I would assume. Actually, maybe not. He's pulling down. Peacocks, usually they'll pull up a little bit and jump. Oh, that is a peacock. That's a nice one. That's a nice fish. Oh, okay. It's another nice fish. This one's a little bit bigger than the last one, I think. Oh, yeah. Making a couple nice runs here. Let's turn his head. No, okay. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Nice and easy. No. Nice and easy. Come on up here. Nice fish. Look at that guy. All right, definitely a bigger fish than the last one we just caught, but this is 2 peacocks almost back to back. The B-Vibe has definitely paid off today. It's probably close to the fish that I lost earlier. It's a male. You can see the hump starting to come in there on the head. Guess spawning season here is around the corner, but let's get this guy back here. Nice fish. So one of my favorite things about this lure, but really smaller lures in particular, is you can fish them anywhere in the water column. Especially a moving lure like this swim shad type thing. Let it sink a little bit, let it sink a lot, doesn't matter. With larger lures, like even something on a 1/8 ounce jig head, that thing is going to sink pretty quickly down to the bottom. Makes it a little bit harder to fish it up toward the top of the water column or even suspended, because it's going to sink pretty quick. This little 1/32 ounce jig head with a small little soft plastic, you can fish it basically anywhere. So it's got a nice slow sink down to the bottom. Oh, fish on. Saw this guy come out of the cover and hit it. I mean, for the rest of the day, anything that is not one of those bigger peacocks is gonna be a disappointment. But little largemouth on the micro-finesse, not too bad. Fish on. Largemouth, I think. Decent size, a little bit bigger than the dinks I caught earlier. That's an okay size one. Let's get him up over all these grasses here. That's a good size largemouth. All right, this guy is a little bit bigger than those dinks we caught earlier. It's a respectable size, I don't know, 14, 15 inches or so. So biggest largemouth of the day. Let's let that one go. And the B-Vibe has produced well today. Oh, fish on. Right on the drop. Little guy. Not putting up much of a fight at all. Come here. All right, another little, I don't know, dink of a largemouth, tiny guy. Hit right on the drop before I even started to reel this lure back in. But this might be our last one. We'll make a few more casts, but that might do it. All right, so that is going to do it. I really have no complaints today at all. The action was really good. I got a couple nice sized fish, one nice largemouth, two nice peacocks. Lost the one peacock in the beginning, but I'm not even upset about that at all. All the other fish afterwards made it up. The B-Vibe from Eurotackle, really nice little lure. Produces a lot of really nice action. The fish obviously seem to love it. Very easy to work. The only problem, not very durable. So obviously we lost one when we broke it off. The second one I put on, it lasted only 2 fish. This one lasted a little bit longer, but that last little largemouth still took the tail with him. So as far as durability goes, not the best. It kind of makes sense, right? You've got a pretty slim little profile here that tapers down a lot, and you've got a pretty large tail here at the end. So it makes sense that a lot of fish are going to grab and pull, but I wish they were just a little bit more durable. Not a lure that I would really use for like smaller panfish like bluegills. This is probably more of like a little crappie type lure. This 2 inches is a pretty respectable size. Little bluegills aren't going to be able to fit this whole thing in their mouth. Had a few hits from a couple small fish, and again, they were kind of just biting here at the tail. They couldn't get their mouth around the whole hook part, but still, really nice day. Love the B-Vibe from Eurotackle. Hope you guys liked it, and I will see you next time.